Wow, that is
week.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's some serious motivation.
I actually started writing again.
Yes.
Cleaned up the first part of my screenplay.
One.
And started kind of seeing where it could go. So, bam.
Good job, man.
What do you think about Señor Verde?
Who?
It's on.
It's on. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Everything I Know podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Whitley, and here to talk and speak everything he knows is Señor Verde.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. That's the intro that never gets entered.
I know.
But we always enter it.
Or we do it and you forget the word that.
I said it that time.
You did say that.
I hate the word that. It's one of my, like, as a journalism, I have a degree in journalism, and it's one of my things that I hate. It's a pet peeve. I hate the word that.
Wow.
Because if you have the word that in any sentence,
Yeah.
you can take the word that out and restructure your sentence and have a stronger sentence.
Of course.
That is everything that I know. That's it right there. That's
Done.
all my journalism degree
Thanks for
taught me.
listening, folks.
Have a good night.
Well, last week you were demotivated, unmotivated.
Yeah, and I kind of got in the zone.
Yeah?
Yeah,
So you're back to report all of the good.
let me go ahead and throw out some.
No, that's not what's going to happen.
I'm going to throw out some good news. Some accomplishments
Nice.
have been made.
Nice.
6 pounds and 1 inch have gone off my waist.
Wow.
In 1
That is
week.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's some serious motivation.
I actually started writing again.
Yes.
Cleaned up the first part of my screenplay.
One. Two.
And
Okay.
started kind of seeing where it could go. So, bam.
Good job, man.
That's right.
You just
Tomorrow's payday.
just
Coming at you, credit card.
there you
Bam.
go. There you go. Nice. That's the old 1-2. So back in the gym and eating right, obviously, to drop 6 lbs that quick. That's
right.
good in an inch. And then the writing. So you're back on the horse.
I am. And
Good for you, dude. Good for you.
Yeah, I got some creative stuff going on. And
Love it.
yeah,
What else happened good this past week?
I'm still alive.
That's good. Anything else?
I was kind of all I was working on.
No. Maybe there was something you're not thinking about. Like, oh, yeah, I ran into an old friend or something like that.
No.
No?
Taking improv classes in Fort Worth because
Cool.
I believe even though I'm going back to level 1 and I've been
Yeah.
doing this for 10 years, I believe there's always stuff you can learn. There's habits you can break.
For sure.
So I do that every Saturday. And currently at work, things are going well and working on a cool creative project. So
Excellent.
tapping into that creative director, producer mode.
You see what happens when you focus.
That's right.
So we had a pretty good week. I mean, we didn't do much. We just drove to Austin and
Yeah, I heard
met
you went and
Gary
saw
Vee.
Gary Vee.
Just
Yeah,
saying.
thanks.
Yeah.
I was trying to live vicariously through you, but you didn't even make a story about him.
Yeah, no, it was kind of overwhelming. I was like, what do you say about the guy that says everything? But we're working on a few little pieces here and there. Hoss dropped a little something yesterday of it, and then we're working on a few things
cool.
to bring to light.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very, very interesting.
What did Gary Vee teach you?
So he said the same stuff, which is great because you never want to have somebody that's all over the place. It was called the Design Your Life event put on by Aubrey Marcus and the Onnit group. So it was kind of more designed about, becoming a more whole version of yourself. It was very cool. We're sitting on the front row. We're literally 25 feet. It's like, kind of the, rock star thing. So we were grinning ear to ear. It was cool. It was a packed house. The Paramount Theater there in Austin was packed. Great vibe. Everybody there wanted to be there, knew why they were there, like mindset and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really cool. And at the end, the shaking hands and the selfie and got the picture, but not only that, but Hoss is rolling video with, one of the phones in the background. So we've got the video of the selfie being made. And so that's kind of a cool thing. And
Cool.
I leaned into him and I was like, man, this is just straight up rock star status, huh? And he goes, it's crazy, right? So I was like, yeah, it's crazy.
Nice.
But, huge fan, and he's doing his thing and we're doing our thing. And I'm sure our paths will cross again someday, hopefully not too far out from now. one of the craziest things ever, we've talked about this a couple of times about asking about mentorship a couple of weeks back. We're like, how do you get a mentor? Where you just ask. So you could submit questions prior to the event the day before, and they picked a series of questions. And then at a certain interval during the evening, they said, okay, these few people were to get in line behind a microphone. And there's a long line of people, probably 30 people. Not everybody got to ask their question, but it was either the first or the second. It was really close to the front of the line. This guy gets up and he starts talking about, he's a Middle Eastern guy, starts talking about all that he's done and coming to this country, and it's just really cool. And he's a pretty physically fit dude, not, typical physique. He's talking about his little fitness app and stuff, and we're in communication with him right now. But towards the end of his little spiel, and he went on kind of long, and, some of the crowd was like, right already, But his last thing was, This is proof that if you ask, you just never know. And if you don't ask, you're answering no for the other party. The guy goes, so, Gary, what would it take for me to shadow you for 5 days? Gary looks at him and goes, done. And we were like, what? And so he has the opportunity at some point, connecting with his team, when it's convenient, I'm sure, for their team, to go to New York and shadow Gary for 5 days. I'm like...
Where you're like, dang it, I should have raised my hand. Why didn't I do that?
That
could have been me.
Yeah, so that...
And you were on the front row.
But what's cool about that is the guy asked. Like, he's standing there. And I interviewed him after the fact, and we got that on. It's all good. It's some good content coming from that. But, he's standing there. He's freaking out, first of all, because there's however many couple thousand people there inside this theater, and he's standing there public speaking in front of everyone. And then the last thing, he's like, I wonder what I should do. Should I say it? Should I say it? He says it, and the reward just showers down on him. And I'm like, wow, damn it. So props to him, Ahmed, or Messer. Sali is his name. Messer's a nickname. But so good for him. And we hung out with him for a little while after the event, and really cool guy. Happy for him. But for someone like Gary to just do that, he didn't have to do that. And I've seen him do some little things like that before in some of his posts and some of his events like that. But that's pretty impressive. I mean, that's a big ticket item to shadow him for 5 days. And I don't know if it'll literally come out to be that length of time or what that would look like. But that's a big deal. Yeah. So props to him, and it was a great event. The guys really enjoyed their time, having the team with me. And then I took Derek, my real estate partner, and we had a great time and got to look at some things down in that Austin market that we're interested in from a real estate play. So, it was a lot of good, a lot of fun. I didn't lose any weight.
But I did see that you, I think you're getting some of your own motivation. I saw a story that, May 15th, you were going to challenge
yourself.
It's
just this oddball day. I was going to do Monday, but that was the 13th. I was like, I'm not starting anything on the 13th. I'm not superstitious, but come on.
Well, see, I started on the 1st, May 1st. Perfect. I started.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? It's a Wednesday, but you know what's great about that? If I have a cheat meal, or if I mess up on the weekend, it's not going to affect my weight on Monday when I want to weigh in.
It's halfway.
So I'll give myself like a midweek thing. So
I ended up doing the same thing. So the 15th, it's the first ever Senior Verde Slim Down. So if you're into it and you want to join me, jump on the party. So
who's doing it with you?
Right now, nobody.
It's the first ever and first person.
Yeah, no. So I've done it, obviously, with the 2016 moment when I had that moment, which we should probably go into at some point. And maybe I should just do a little short story on it, not go on and on and on. But in 2016, I was out in the backyard jumping on the trampoline with a couple of my boys, and in 22 seconds, I was winded and done. I was 235 pounds. I was 43 years old. And it was like, wow, this is my life? No. So flip the switch. We talk about a lot. Mindset, ready to go. Reached out to Cooney Pena, our trainer, and never looked back. Lost 66, 68 pounds over the course of 6 to 8 months. And, my before and after is like, oh, wow, and oh, wow. Like, shredded six-pack. So then I had a surgery early 2018, not a big deal, but it kind of set me back in the gym, and I was just doing mostly cardio, so I lost some muscle and things like that.
I think that's about the time you and I kind of
really connected, I think.
Because you were on a treadmill and I was doing my thing. And
that is right. So, again, to shorten that up a little bit, because there's so many more details in the middle of all that, but I got off a meal plan. I was working out less because of the surgery, post-surgery, for about 12 weeks. And I just put back on 30 pounds from April of last year to April of this year. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I lost all this weight. And he just easily, pound by pound, put back on 30 pounds. And I was like, nah, not doing that. So was in the gym a couple of weeks ago, and Cooney actually was like the one that coined it. He's like, let's do Senior Verde Slim Down, you know? And I was like, hey, man, that's cool. We'll document it. We'll put it out there. If somebody joins me, cool. If nobody joins, that's okay too.
Right.
I'm going to be posting a lot about it in different areas. There's going to be a lot of videos on YouTube coming up about it. And it's not something that I'm trying to like, you know, put out there is like, hey, watch me. This is awesome. You can do this too. Send me some money. It's like, hey, I'm doing this. You can do it too. And follow along or join or whatever. But,
you know what? I'll be 2 weeks ahead.
Yes.
But I'm in.
Okay.
So, you know, and just so happens I work out the time right after you.
You do. Yeah. You're
Bring
6
on the
a.m.
camera.
Bring on the camera.
I will. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Put my comedic talents
my.
to
we
the
might have
test.
we might have some outtakes at least, if nothing else. But yeah, but you're working out in a group, right?
Yeah, but
I don't know if everybody be down with that, but we'll do something. We'll
I'll
come
sign
up
a
with something.
talent race for them. They don't have to.
Okay.
We can blur them out. It's like
Blur.
cops.
Just blur their faces. Nice. So yeah, that's coming. I'm excited about that, and just in time. A little late for summer, but I don't travel a lot in the early summer. It's usually the latter part, so I should be okay. I'm going to do for like 8 weeks. In 8 weeks, I should be able to drop 25 pounds maybe, and that'll put me right in the pocket, I think, of where I probably should be.
Yeah.
Because in the fall, I did put on some muscle because I started working out and lifting heavier, so I got a little bigger. So I don't really know what I look like underneath this layer of winter coat fat, whatever you want to call it. So I'm excited to see that. A couple people have already asked me, are you going to post your before and after? And I was like, no. Like, I have a before and after from last time, and I'm not putting that out there
Yeah,
either.
I think sometimes progress pictures really don't have to be for everybody to see. They can just be for yourself.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, if you can't give yourself the gratification, the validation you need, you don't need it from somebody else.
That's right.
And then it's fake.
That's right.
Boom. I think I just had that was an epiphany moment.
That was a moment.
Let's take that moment and I'll post that one.
You post that one. We'll give that one to you. So run with it. So what else? We're kind of, you contacted me yesterday. We were like, hey, let's do this as kind of like an episode where we clean up some things.
Yeah,
we might add closure to some things and then talk about some new upbeat stuff.
Yeah,
it
I
won't
was
be
just kind
too
of thinking
long.
of it just kind of like a palate cleanser. Like, hey, let's kind of get off the topic of
Palate
business.
cleanser.
You know, let's talk about
I
our
love
fitness,
wine. That's a great idea.
you know, and
Go.
I'm on my lunch break.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. So, I mean, I guess let's just kind of talk about, you know, fitness. Why not? You know,
Sure.
it's one of those topics that we both know a lot about. And I don't know, a lot of people know this, but I used to be a personal trainer back in the day. Before comedy,
I did
I
not
was a
know
personal
that.
trainer.
No kidding.
NSCA certified. Yeah, it was in a previous life. And
Dude, that's really cool. I had no
thanks.
idea.
Yeah, so I know a little bit about
Wow.
the topic of fitness, just a little bit. And got into comedy and decided I wanted to be the funny fat guy and I didn't want to eat healthy anymore. So bam, here it is.
Funny
And
fat guy.
so that's kind of how I got back into the gym. I was like, you know, I'm tired of being the funny fat guy. I'd rather just be funny guy.
You could be the funny fit guy.
Yes, I could.
I think there's a guy on Insta that's got, oh, that's you. Funny Gets Fit.
Yeah.
That's one of your other
Yeah,
accounts.
it's
I
one
don't
of
think
my-
you'd push
yeah,
it, but
no.
but that's a funny name.
Yeah, and it was kind of more just, it's one of those things. I was just putting stuff out there and I was like, you know what? I don't need other people's validation if I can't validate myself.
Well, for me, it all started, it was complete health and wellness. It was like, I'm 43, I'm out of shape. I got to be here for my kids. Not only that, I want to live a good quality of life as I age. So for me, it became important on the fact of longevity, living longer, aging well, you know, as I get older, being able to, you know, function and be able to run around, throw the football. I mean, I got a little one. When I'm 61, he'll be graduating high school.
Yeah.
So when I'm 58, I'll still be throwing the football in the backyard, right? Literally. So I need to be able to do that. And so for me, the other part was the biomechanical part of it, being able to move, like squat down, stand up, put my shoes on, put my pants. So not just physically, aesthetically pleasing, but able to move and do all those things as well. So the longevity, the aging, the biomechanics, it all came together for me. And so I'm on that path now. So I'm always that's how I came across Aubrey Marcus and Onnit and all those other things like that. And If, always try something once, that kind of stuff. But immersed myself in what did real health look like from a consumption standpoint, as far as food and beverage, to the tune of like, hey, what's the least fattening or liquor? Came to find out it was the vodka, but really tequila had the most mineralities, and so tequila ends up being the best one to consume. Of course, not with all the sugars and salts and that kind of stuff.
Right.
But that, and then the foods, and should you eat broccoli like sprouts, or should you eat the broccoli? Well, it turns out that the broccoli sprouts are better for you in so many different ways on a biological level. And so just really immersed myself in that, and, had a good time studying that. And so now I feel like I can pick up where I left off, do an 8-week slim down, and it won't just be a fad quick loss. It'll be a legitimate fat loss, structuring my body, kind of like Hollywood does. They get on those programs for 6-8 weeks or several months to do a movie, and they get completely ripped, and then they're done, and they go, oh, I can eat a cheeseburger again.
Yeah. So what helps you stay on the right track? Do you like, for me, I have to be flexible. I have to change out turkey breast for chicken breast.
That's funny.
I have to change out a sweet potato with rice. I can't just eat the same thing every day. But what about you? Do you just stick to the one meal plan every single day?
I can eat the exact same meal every day, and I could probably eat it multiple times a day. Like when I come up with a menu. So the convenience is the biggest thing for me as a busy CEO exec. Like, I've got to have it here ready to go right now. Let's eat, or I'm going to forget. I'm going to move on. I'll be on the next thing, and I can't do it. So we have a lot of structure built into our day around my meals and what I do eat. And then I'm an early riser. I don't eat until mid-morning, but I'm up for several hours, 4 or 5 hours before I ever eat the first meal. So there's a little bit of fasting in there. And every now and then I'll do a fast. Like, I just came off of one that was a 48-hour over the weekend. And it was great. Sometimes I just feel like pushing reset, like get the flavors go away, just kind of push reset. So then when you do eat that same meal over and over and over, it has that robust flavoring again. But I am one that can eat the same thing every day for weeks on end, and it doesn't bother my head.
I think there's definitely like a personality trait that certain people have to be able to do that.
Maybe. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I don't have it.
Yeah. And I like variety, and and one benefit to doing the meal prepping and planning and things that I can do, I love every kind of food. There's not anything that I won't eat. Now, I prefer some things over the other. Like, I may prefer ground turkey over ground beef just because of the grease and that kind of stuff, or I may prefer cod over salmon and that. But there's not a food I won't eat. So that makes it easy. But really just planning, it's all planning, executing the plan ahead of time so that you don't get caught behind the wave of not planning.
So you're saying it's a lot kind of like budgeting.
It's kind of like budgeting, but you're budgeting your food, putting your food out there.
So it's kind of like, it kind of goes into topic, everything we've been talking about is, if you have a goal, you need to have a plan, you need to execute, and you need to not have excuses. Yeah.
And also along those lines, you have, the food and the exercise has to be a priority because some people say, well, to eat healthy is very expensive. I say just the flip side of that. If you don't eat healthy, you're going to have a lot of expenses because you're not going to be healthy. You're going to be tired, so you're going to be taking supplements to stay awake. You're going to feel groggy, so your clothes aren't going to fit, so you're going to have to go buy new clothes. There's all these different things. So if you really want to break it down, I think it's probably less expensive to eat healthy over the long term. It just feels expensive up front because you're not going to that restaurant and grabbing a $8 deal. You're spending $15 on 10 cod breasts, and then you got to cook them, et cetera, et cetera. But it is a lot like budgeting. It's got to be a priority. It's got to be important, and you got to put it above everything else for a season to really jumpstart it. I think we've talked. It was either you and I or someone else. We talked a while back about most people get on something and they try for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and they actually don't see any results. They might actually see an increase in weight gain, and they get confused, and they get put out, and they get disgruntled, and they get discouraged, and they're like, screw it, I'm done. But what happens is it takes several weeks really for your body to reacclimate to that normalcy of eating and also the quality of the food before your body actually starts to let go of some of those things.
Yeah.
So it's not sure what's going on. But if you'll give it 6, 8, 10 weeks, that's really where the rubber meets the road, and you really start to see the progress. The sad part about it is most people don't have a coach behind them going, go, 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 rah, rah, rah. And so they just give up, or they go, oh, well, it's just one meal, or it's just one. And then one turns into 2, 2 turns into 10, and then it's over.
Yeah.
So I've battled that myself to where I'll do it for 2 weeks, and I'm 3 pounds heavier. And I'm like, and then I'm like, wait a minute, don't think that way. It's not the way it works. You've got to go, a little bit further down the road, and I'll get to week 6 or week 7. And it's like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm going to lose 2 pounds a week,
Well, it seems like there's a lot of people that also, they may be dived into something and just go the complete extreme for 2 to 4 weeks, but then something else grabs their attention and they can only give their extreme to one thing.
Yeah.
And then, so the diet goes goes away, and whatever that other thing they want to be passionate about it's like
that is so true.
They're just going to, rather than sit there and try and decide what they're going to do, they're going to do everything.
Yeah.
But they can only give their 100% to that one thing they're doing at that time.
Yeah, we've talked about that a couple times. I think
Yeah.
applications for other areas of life.
Right.
But yeah, when you get gung ho about something and you finally do get the wherewithal to get into it and really tackle it, you can burn out really quickly. And if there's no results, you burn out even faster. So I would just challenge people that are listening and going to take that next step. Don't give up too quickly. You got to get around that first bend in the road, over that first hill. Then you'll start to see the results. Then you'll start to see the horizon and keep that goal out in front of you. So,
yeah.
And I don't think you can go wrong with more healthy eating over exercise. I mean, I've always heard it's 80-20, it's 85-15. I think it's higher than that. I think it's 90% food, 10% exercise.
Oh, I totally agree.
If you're moving during your day, that's
right.
That's what I'm talking about. But if you're eating really well and going to the gym barely ever, or just walking around your neighborhood, you're going to feel great and you're probably going to look great because that quality of food has your body in a state where it needs to be.
Yeah.
So the food is the biggest part for me.
Yeah. Are you I hate this term. I hate the term cheat meal.
Oh yeah.
You're not going to cheat on your budget. You're not going to cheat on your spouse. Why would you cheat on your diet?
Yeah.
Because then you give food this pedestal.
Yeah.
And that was my problem. Because even back when I was a trainer, I was big into bodybuilding. I was eating chicken, rice, and vegetables almost every meal with a protein shake. And when the weekend come and workout partner was like, "Hey, have a cheat meal." Well, that cheat meal became a cheat day, which came to a cheat weekend.
Yeah.
So it was just a constant battle.
Off.
So you just never really got to that point that I ever really wanted to get to.
I remember, and sometimes they say, well, it's good for your mental capacity. I think you still have to be happy.
Right.
So you can't be so restrictive that you're not happy. I just happen to be happy eating the same things every day. And really that restrictiveness doesn't make me feel like I'm not fulfilled inside. So I'm maybe wired differently. But I remember the first time I did a cheat meal, quote unquote, and went and ate pizza after about 2 weeks of extremely clean eating, maybe even longer than that, and went and ate pizza, and it made me sick. Literally, as soon as it hit my stomach, I felt nauseous. I wanted to, throw up. It was bad.
If pizza ever made me sick, I'd want to die.
Right. Yeah.
I can't live like that.
And so it was really, but I think what it was just so clean, such a regimen of clean eating, no grease, probably no white bread, really no, I don't eat much bread anyway. And so that all in a combo, I mean, that cheat meal did me in and turned me off to them for probably a pretty good long time. But, I mean, what's for you a normal day of eating? I know what mine is. It's pretty simple. It's egg whites in the morning with some, maybe a piece of toast or half a bagel. Mid-morning is a leafy green salad with tuna fish, lime juice, some cracked pepper, and maybe some balsamic vinaigrette. Mid-snack afternoon is steamed veggies with some tahini sprinkled on it. Love that stuff. And then late afternoon is probably one more meal, sometimes a snack like apple and beef jerky or beef jerky and almonds, but a limited, maybe 2 ounces of beef jerky, not a whole bag. And then in the evening, it's a completely sensible meal, usually consisting of 2 or 4 parts, And then I'm done. 6:30, 7 o'clock, I don't eat again till the next morning at 8:30, 9 o'clock. So I get about 12 to 13 hours of non-eating. They call it fasted, intermittent fasting or something like that. So
yeah, mine's pretty much, I'll do, 6 to 8 egg whites or a cup of egg whites with a half cup to a cup of oatmeal for breakfast, cinnamon and Splenda only. I mean, it's kind of, but it's post-workout too. So I'm like, I don't care. I just need to eat.
Yeah.
And then I'll have about 3 meals that are pretty much 6 to 8 ounces of lean meat, whether it be ground turkey, ground beef, but more so it's on the white meat side, ground turkey, chicken or fish. Love cod right now, with about a half cup to a cup of rice with, and then fiber. I'm trying to load up as much fibrous vegetables as I possibly can because let's face it, we're all full of
and getting older,
and we want to get rid of that and let it out.
That's
so
right.
we need a healthy colon.
Well, you said 2 things in there. I mean, two. Did you have one more meal? What was your dinners look like?
My dinners usually I will do like another protein source, 6 to 8 ounces, but I'll do like a really big salad, and then with some oil and vinegar dressing. So I get
love
my healthy
salad
fats.
at night like that. If I could just eat salad as my last meal of the day, with or without protein, like I feel content. But again, I might eat for another 12 or 13 hours, sometimes 14. But one key thing that you said that we haven't really zeroed in on, which is extremely important, is you talked about portions. You said a cup, you said a half a cup, you said, and I converted 2 years ago to using grams for my food. And now people say, well, you can't measure everything all the time. Yeah, you can.
If you have a scale.
I have a scale in my house and I have a scale at my office.
Yeah.
And for a season, probably 2 years, I measured everything that went in my mouth. Now I can look at it and tell you
exactly
that's 20 grams of oatmeal. That's 30 grams of an apple. That's 150. I can almost feel it because it's thousands of repetitions, right, of doing that. But, you tell somebody eat an apple and a cheese stick. Well, they could cut a 4-ounce cheese stick off a block of cheddar cheese and they could eat a massive, Washington apple. And that's probably 2/3 too much.
Right.
They got to do 150-gram apple and a 2-ounce cheese stick and really proportion that out because that's the macros. The macronutrients we coin it macros in the health and wellness arena, right?
Right.
Is where the rubber meets the road. So if you're off on that, you could really be screwing up. And so I would challenge anybody to find somebody that can calculate their macros based on their height and their weight. Start with that, and then just start eating good, clean food. And I think we all know what good, clean food looks like.
Yeah.
It's vegetables, it's fruits, it's lean meats. It's not anything processed.
Right.
Good, clean food is not processed in any way, shape, or form.
And that's what I have to do. I have to track macros. That's the only way I can stay accountable to myself.
Yeah.
So like I do have someone like Stephen Bogran, and he's with Pro Physique. He just calculates macros. And, it's kind of one of those things that I do that, work out with Cooney, and I've got 2 of the best coaches I could ever ask for in my support system.
Right.
And so, but if I don't count those macros, I have no idea to know where I am.
Not a clue.
If I know I'm going to go to a party, that's why I have to be flexible, but not. There's a lot of people that think, flexible dieting is just you can eat what you want as long as it fits your macros. No, that's not the case.
No.
I tried that. I just gained 30 pounds doing a reverse diet, eating whatever I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I was eating over my macros.
Yeah, you can't do that.
So it's amazing to see how much crap I was really eating now that I've just lost 6 pounds and an inch in a week of just eating clean. So it's kind of the 90% rule. 90% of the time, eat clean. If you know you're going to a party, well, then just adjust your daily macros so that you can enjoy when you go out. You don't have to just be sitting there and go, oh my God, I hate life.
Right.
I can't have that crouton on the salad. And so it's just, I think it's all about
no croutons.
No croutons for you. I don't know
where that came from.
No,
but so the macros or the macronutrients we're talking about, everybody's got a different ratio, and there's different ratios of percentages for your goals. If you want to, gain muscle mass, then you need to do a certain set of macros based on percentages. And the macronutrients is fats, proteins, and carbohydrates for everyone out there that doesn't know that. There's just 3.
Right.
And then there's a certain amount of calories associated with each gram that you consume. And so that's an easy calculation. We could probably throw something up here and show people how to do it.
There's 4 calories for every gram of protein and carb, 9 calories for every gram of fat.
Right.
Ding.
Ding, 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 ding. So the deal with that is it's something easy to do. There's tons of things. There's free ones online you can go do. There's people out there in the industry. If you just go to, just macronutrient calculator, in Google and you'll find something.
Yeah.
But that's where it starts. It starts with the food and then the consistency of eating right. And, I tell people if you're hungry, eat something. Just don't eat, like those little almonds are a good snack. Yeah, but not a bowl full of almonds.
Yeah.
A portion of almonds, like I know in my brain that 21 almonds is too many. I can count them out, but 16 is an ounce.
Right.
17 maybe if there's a small one in there, but that's an ounce, and that's about what you should eat in one sitting. Don't eat too many almonds. Just because they're healthy, you can't eat a cup of almonds. That's not good, unless it's a cup, here 4 times throughout the day as a part of your snack. I think it's still too much for me, but and then if you're going to have a snack like beef jerky, make sure it's a lean beef jerky, and don't eat 4 ounces. Eat 1 or 2 or 1.5. Again, I prefer grams. And then on the fruits, be mindful of what you're eating on the fruits as far as the size and the quantities. And the biggest thing was the meats, portions of meats. People think, well, I could never eat an 8-ounce chicken breast. And then you look at it on the plate and you're like, that's 8 ounces?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I could eat 4 of those, but maybe not. But I'm using that as a joke. But yeah, I think doing that for a season, then you can go out and you can make healthy choices, because you're going to recognize those portion sizes, and then you can kind of fit that in. The worst thing you can do is record stuff based on what you think it is.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's 2 ounces, and really it's 7.
Especially if you go out to a restaurant, you have no idea what's in it.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, I think this is just it's just cooked dry.
Yeah, and those little like cherry tomatoes, people say, oh, well, that's probably just an ounce. There might be a cherry tomato that weighs 3 ounces.
Yeah.
So because they're so fat,
Right.
So it's just all portion control, calculating macros, and staying with it long enough that you see a semblance of results that give you the next little push. Be like, yes, you can make it to the next week. And then, yes, again, make it to the next week. And it's little bitty increments. Like, you shouldn't be losing, no offense, but a normal person shouldn't be losing 6 pounds a week. That's unhealthy.
No, because a lot of times you have water weight, drops. But
3/4 of a pound to 2 pounds.
Right.
If you're eating clean and exercising cardiovascularly, that's reasonable.
It's a reasonable goal a week.
Yeah. And so, I mean, if you're doing that, I think you can see how it takes a while to lose 20 pounds at 3/4 pound a week.
Yeah.
Or a pound a week. You're in it for 3, 4, 5, 6 months before you really even feel that.
Right.
But you do that long enough over time, just like budgeting, just like planning. You do the same thing over and over long enough, you'll have success. So
yeah.
It's pretty exciting stuff. Well, I'm excited for you on that. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for you too. And we kind of wanted this to be a palate cleanser. We're actually really talking about our palates.
We are.
And so I believe this episode should drop right around the time of the challenge
next
as well.
week.
And we didn't even talk about that.
No, we didn't.
So if you want to get on the Verde bandwagon,
the Slim Down,
the Slim Down,
I give Cooney props for that. The Senior Verde Slim Down.
Shout out Cooney Pena Fitness on Instagram. Follow him. See our story. See us in his stories.
There you go. So one fun thing, because I think we're probably going to wrap up here in just a minute. What, like for me, I know what my big weakness is. What is your one big weakness that you're just like, F the diet, I'm having that right now? Like, what's your one thing?
If I could eat pizza for every meal of every day, I would.
Pizza, really?
But I would if it was that's
cool.
If it was socially acceptable to look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow, I am gonna pizza up.
Pizza up, baby. Wow. So it's no secret that my big one thing is the red wine. The red
wine is good stuff,
man. I've been following wine and the culture of wine and winemaking and all that for probably the last 3 years now. I'm eat up with it just as a something, because my family has a farming background. It's really just agricultural endeavors and all that stuff. And so to me, I'm just fascinated by it. And then when it hits my palate, oh baby,
Well, maybe after the 8
and
weeks
I've got 4 kids, so that's it has a byproduct of loosening me up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, so then I guess after the 8 weeks, we need to have another happy hour podcast after the working hours.
We should do like a wine review.
Because, I need to know more about wine. You can teach me.
I can teach you some
things. We
can
sample every brand of wine there is in that 1 hour.
Whew, that's a bunch. There's thousands and thousands. Hydrate. Yeah, that's right. But that's my one thing. And I'll skip a meal. Check that. I'll skip 3 meals to have a glass of wine.
Wow.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I will. That's
That's flexibility.
It is flexibility. I'm flexible on that. So,
Yeah.
you know, and each glass of wine, I believe, is 120 calories. I think that's right. I think
close.
it's twice what whiskey is.
It's about like
Whiskey's
3 ounces.
60. Yeah, 4
Yeah,
4 ounces.
4 ounces.
Or 5, depending on who's pouring.
And that becomes the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, man, that's awesome. I'm proud of you that you got some writing in. I'm proud of you that you started on your health and wellness kick. I'm ready to kick mine off.
Yeah.
I'm doing a primer this week, kind of planning the meals and planning the food and doing some shopping and getting ready to execute on that, planning again. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good time. We'll be able to share some more. This is technically, for everyone following along, episode 10,
Yes.
which is our first double-digit episode. So I'm super pumped about that.
That's right.
Super
That's
pumped
right.
about that. Yeah.
Rewarding everyone with a palate cleanser.
That's right. That's right. So thanks, everybody, for listening, for following along, for going to YouTube and subscribing, checking us out, following us on Instagram. I'm on every single platform. I don't know if you know that, but I am on.
Yeah.
I'm on like 16 different platforms in small increments. Instagram, YouTube, the heaviest. Dabbling in LinkedIn and Twitter and all those, but pretty much everywhere. And so we're bringing this kind of content on different platforms and different topical things, and it's been fun so far. I'm dragging as many people along for the ride as I can.
Come on, people. Let's do this.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening, everyone. Jamie, thank you for doing this.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm looking forward to next week's progress report.
We're going to be leaner.
So will I. All right. Thanks, guys.